Thanks for joining. Today is October 30th, 2024, and welcome to the Halloween special, episode 4 of On Air. And what you're watching is a weekly show out of Cleveland, Ohio. We do use AI tools in the show to enhance the viewing experience. So if you like what you see, subscribe to follow along as the show evolves. We stream the making of this show live on Twitch every week, so you can be part of it by joining the stream or posting to our forum at mwcoast.com. We take a look at all the posts from each week and listen to AI discuss them in a podcast format. We've got a packed show for you today, and we'll be trying some new things once again. So, let's get started.
We made this ad with AI and even...
Nobody cares!
Nobody cares that you use AI!
We get it!
You used AI!
Oh, I love this! Did they use AI?
Nobody cares!
Don't brag like a pro if you
Front like a fool. Nobody cares!
Nobody cares that you use AI.
All right, so I want to make a couple changes to the show that we're doing. And one, I think it's important to have a balance between the amount of AI that I'm using and, being personable and talking to you like this. Sorry, I'm a little sick still. Been sick for like a week and I'm finally getting better. So what I want to do is have something new and interesting every week that I talk about, sort of like what I was doing at the end of the episodes prior, where I would do like a short little, 1 minute documentary that I made with InVideo. But I want to kind of expand on that and do that going forward. So for this week, the main thing that we're going to be doing is testing out InVideo and testing out the free version specifically of InVideo. So what I'm going to do is make 2 short couple minute documentaries about some spooky Halloween topics. What I was thinking of doing was Ed and Lorraine Warren, and also a video on the Salem witch trials. Is free InVideo worth it? Or should I just bite the bullet and pay the $30 a month or whatever it is for it? So we'll see what we can do. So let's do Salem witch trials first. So let's just fire in and see, or let's just say a 3-minute educational documentary about the Salem witch trials. So yeah, we'll just do that. A 3-minute educational documentary about the Salem witch trials. Generate video. Okay, so audience, we'll do Curious Minds. Look and feel dramatic, dark, gothic, or historical. I think dark gothic is probably the choice here. Platform, YouTube. One of the things that I will do probably is remove the music just automatically, because what I've found is it always picks a weird song and it is usually too loud compared to the voice narration. So I'm just going to remove that and add my own. All right. It looks like it finished. It took it 4 minutes. So from when I hit enter on the prompt, 4 minutes to generate this video, which is 2.5 minutes long. One thing I'm going to do is do this edit. So do this edit music. I'm just going to make the volume 0, apply changes, make this full screen. Salem witch trials from InVideo. This is what we got.
Hey there, curious minds. Today, let's dive into the haunting truth of the Salem witch trials. It's a tale that blends hysteria, fear, and a dark chapter in American history. The year was 1692 in a small Puritan settlement called Salem, Massachusetts. The community was tight-knit, religious, and lived under strict societal norms. But then, something sinister began to brew. It all started with 2 young girls, Betty Paris and Abigail Williams, who began exhibiting strange behaviors. They screamed, contorted their bodies, and made bizarre sounds. The local doctor, unable to find a physical cause, declared it the work of the devil. Soon, other girls in the village began showing similar symptoms. The community was gripped by fear and suspicion. Accusations started flying, and anyone could be a witch, your neighbor, your friend, even your family. The accused were subjected to harsh interrogations and trials. Spectral evidence or testimonies of seeing spirits was often used against them. Imagine being accused based on someone else's dream or vision. It's mind-boggling, right? One of the first to be accused was Tituba, an enslaved woman from Barbados. Under immense pressure, she confessed to witchcraft and even claimed there were others in the village practicing dark arts. This fueled the hysteria even more. Over the span of a few months, more than 200 people were accused of witchcraft. 19 were hanged, one was pressed to death with heavy stones, and many others languished in jail. It was a period of paranoia and injustice. So, what caused this mass hysteria? Historians have debated this for years. Some theories suggest ergot poisoning, a fungus found in rye that can cause hallucinations. Others point to social, economic, and religious tensions that created a perfect storm for fear to flourish. The trials eventually ended when the governor of Massachusetts, William Phips, intervened. He dissolved the court and declared spectral evidence inadmissible. Slowly the frenzy died down, but the damage was already done. The Salem witch trials serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of mass hysteria and scapegoating. It's a chapter in history that continues to fascinate and horrify us. So next time you hear the term witch hunt, remember the real-life consequences it had for the people of Salem. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. If you found this video enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating tales from history. Until next time, stay curious.
All right. Well, I mean, that was interesting. And I could go through here. That was just first try. So what I could do is in this editor here, it's all AI based. So everything is prompt based about how you want to edit. I could say, like, there was a few slides that made no sense, like this French Revolution one. Like, I'd be like, you know, swap out this slide for something else and it would do it. But with the free version, you only get, I think, like 10 minutes of generation per week. And I don't know if it's going to count, you know, 2.5 minutes again to remake the whole video if I go to change one slide. I don't think it does. But you could also put in overall things like here, change the voice of the narrator to somebody else or make it a female voice or whatever, like, which is pretty interesting. If you go into this editor, this is sort of like a more, not more traditional, it's still kind of strange, but you can go into specific slides or specific stock footage that it uses and swap it out with something else. So you can search, if you have premium, I think this is where you can like search their database and you could swap it out with something else. So that's another feature of the paid version. Another thing is with the paid version, it does remove all of those watermarks. So on most of the videos that were on that particular one, it said iStock or whatever stock footage database they're using, it'll remove those watermarks. And if you can't find anything in their database, you could upload your own if you have other stock footage that you use or other platforms that you get stock footage from, or take your own even. This is all the different slides. You know, if you don't like something that he says, like if I wanted to take that whole thing about the end of like, thanks for joining me, whatever, and just make it straight up about Salem witch trials, I would just take those 3 slides out and you could just remove that from the script, go into the edit media and take that out as well. Yeah. Or you could just edit it out in an editor after you export the video. So not bad, honestly. That was actually pretty good. That was probably one of the better ones that I've gotten from it. And that was totally free to use. Like I said, you get 10 minutes free per week. So not bad. Let's try the next one. I don't know, maybe I should be a little bit more specific this time. So say, create 3-minute documentary about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Let's just do, like, just for an example, let's try narrate in a voice similar to David Attenborough. I just want to see and show you like that you could put stuff like this in the prompt and it'll just do it. It's very strange. And let's just do that. See what it does. So, paranormal enthusiasts, I think, is a good one. We'll make this one dramatic, maybe clean, I think, and YouTube. We'll see how this comes out. I think this is going to be a good example of when it depends on the topic you're doing. So like, because I'm doing Ed and Lorraine Warren, it's a very specific topic. They're specific people. So the stock footage it's going to use is probably going to be pretty poor. So I imagine this video is not going to be that great. The audio might be good. The narration might be good and the content might be good, but the actual visuals that it provides with the stock footage, I think is probably going to be pretty bad. All right, that one also took exactly 4 minutes. So once again, I'm going to just, actually for this one, I think maybe I'll just leave the music in it just so you can kind of hear. I can already tell you this. Look at this. This stock footage is going to be bad. I don't have very high hopes for this one, but this is just completely raw, unedited. That was just a prompt. This is what I get. So we'll see.
In the eerie realm of the unknown, few names resonate as profoundly as Ed and Lorraine Warren. Born in the early 20th century, Ed and Lorraine embarked on a journey that would intertwine their lives with the supernatural. Ed Warren was a self-taught demonologist. From a young age, he claimed to have encountered spirits, sparking his lifelong pursuit of understanding the paranormal. Lorraine, on the other hand, was a clairvoyant and a medium. Together, they formed an unbreakable bond, not just as husband and wife, but as partners in the mystical world. Their journey into the heart of darkness began with the founding of the New England Society for Psychic Research. In 1952, it was the oldest ghost hunting group in New England, and it quickly became a beacon for those tormented by unexplainable phenomena. One of their most infamous cases was the Amityville Horror. In 1976, the Warrens investigated the Lutz family home in Amityville, New York. The family had fled the house, claiming it was haunted by malevolent forces. Ed and Lorraine confirmed these fears, citing demonic activity. This case garnered worldwide attention, cementing their status as leading figures in paranormal investigation. Another notable case was the haunting of the Perron family in Rhode Island. The family experienced terrifying events, from strange noises to full-bodied apparitions. The Warrens spent extended periods in the house, documenting their findings and providing support to the beleaguered family. This case would later inspire the 2013 film The Conjuring. Throughout their careers, Ed and Lorraine Warren faced both acclaim and skepticism. Critics questioned their methods and the authenticity of their claims, yet they remained undeterred. They amassed a collection of haunted artifacts, now housed in the Warrens Occult Museum. Among these relics is the infamous Annabelle doll, a seemingly innocent toy with a dark, sinister history. Ed passed away in 2006 and Lorraine in 2019, but their legacy endures. Their work continues to inspire new generations of paranormal investigators, and their cases are immortalized in books, films, and documentaries. Ed and Lorraine Warren dedicated their lives to exploring the unknown, manifesting an enduring legacy in the world of paranormal investigation. Their tales are a testament to the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding, urging us to question, explore, and believe. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the supernatural. Until next time, keep your minds open and your spirit curious.
Well, just as I thought, the stock footage was terrible. There was a couple ones that were decent, but most of that video would be completely unusable. I think you have to be careful about what topics you choose. If you get too specific or you do specific people, it's really not going to work very well. But if you choose a good topic, it can make a pretty decent video. And like, I think the Salem witch trials one was pretty decent, and there would be a few of the slides that I would want to change, or a few stock videos that I would want to swap out, and then you can add in your own music or whatever. And I think you got something pretty serviceable. The Ed and Lorraine Warren video, I actually was pretty surprised by it. The music choice was pretty fitting for it, but there was maybe 4 slides or so that like really fit and worked, but then you'd probably have to go through that entire video and swap everything out with other stock footage. I think you can use it for free, if you don't mind the stock image watermark on your videos. If anything, especially anyone who's listening to this in like a podcast format, you don't see the video in the first place. So audio-wise and story-wise, it does okay. There's a few parts where the slide wasn't as long as like what the script was given, so it kind of like, it feels like he rushes through some of the narration and slower in the other parts. You know, you could adjust that in the script and kind of slow it down a little bit with the prompt editing. So both of those examples I did no edits to, and it was 2 sentences, and 4 minutes later that is what I had. And that's a very, very good starting point for things like this. So my opinion is, yes, I think InVideo free version is worth it. It's definitely worth checking out and playing with and having some fun. I don't think you're gonna make a million subscriber YouTube channel out of making InVideo videos for free, but it is a fun tool, and you could see kind of where things are going with another version of AI and how you could use it. But yeah, also Pictory is another one you should check out as well. So maybe we'll do Pictory in another episode, or maybe I'll just buy the subscription to InVideo and actually make longer, better videos. So we will see.
Now it is time for the Pretentious Hipsters Weekly Review with Nigel P. Snodgrass.
James Wan, the man behind nearly every horror blockbuster you've seen in the last 2 decades. He practically reinvented mainstream horror, serving up scares with the precision of a theme park engineer. Let's start with Saw, the grubby little film that kicked off his reign of terror. It wasn't horror so much as gore noir, a grubby little house of horrors where morality and sadism got twisted together in a delightfully cheap package. Critics sneered, audiences shrieked, and a franchise was born, one that Wan smartly stepped away from just as it became a Halloween staple of diminishing returns. Then came Insidious, a film that grabbed the haunted house genre by its sagging neck and injected it with a dose of slick, neon-lit dread. It had astral projection, creepy demons in all the right corners, and, of course, jump scares. It was everything Wan does best, a neat little package of paranormal scares that went down like candy corn. But the real crown jewel in his spooky tiara is The Conjuring. This wasn't just another scary movie, it was a based-on-a-true-story haunted house, epic with just enough real-life Ed and Lorraine Warren lore to hook the masses. It felt polished, almost classy, with creaky old farmhouses, cursed dolls, and shadowy nuns all packaged perfectly for the multiplex. Audiences devoured it, and it spawned spin-offs galore. Annabelle, the Nun, The Conjuring 2, it's practically a horror cinematic universe now, all thanks to Wan's supernatural assembly line. But let's not forget Malignant, his recent genre experiment that's equal parts camp and chaos, blending slasher horror with gleeful absurdity. And yes, he even tackled Aquaman, turning a superhero flick into a neon-colored fever dream. Though the horror was mostly in realizing he could succeed in any genre he tried. James Wan knows how to create horror that's fast, effective, and utterly reliable, pulling audiences into his jump scare universe with style. His films may not haunt you for days like the true classics, but they will make you spill your popcorn. And isn't that what modern horror is all about? Enjoy your nightmares. He's got a sequel planned for them, no doubt.
So I found this dude, jaayfilms on TikTok, and he's 30 days into his thing here, but he is skateboarding from LA to New York City. And I just started like watching some of these.
Bro. We finally doing it. Today's the day we're going to skate to New York City. Me and the homie Oreo, we're going right now. Day one of fucking skating in New York City. Hey, I appreciate everyone who's been believing in me. For the people who didn't believe in me and didn't think I was gonna do this, bro, we're doing it right now. Started from Venice Beach. That's where we're at right now.
It's crazy, man.
Two, and definitely making it to New York City. So, yeah, let's get it. Woo! Day Day 2, baby. Day 2 pushing.
So as I was watching these, I would recommend go check him out and follow him, but like, cause he posts every day of like where he's at in his journey.
Pushing across America.
Takes him like 3 or 4 days to get out of LA even.
Let's get into New York City. Me and Oreo just chilling here.
And like from once you get out of LA and you're heading east, it's basically just like desert. They're just skating on the highway like through the desert.
We're gonna get there.
Like it's insanity.
Miles to get the park. Day 6, baby. Let's go, baby.
Some of these nights they say like they skate through the night and stuff to like keep cool. Oh yeah, this part about 10 days in, like his buddy that's skating with him, Oreo, like got really bad blisters and had to take a rest day. At first said he was gonna go home, but then he was like, no, we're gonna do it together, which was cool. So again, just like every day he's just doing this, and I think they're in like New Mexico now.
This is day 25. We're pushing across America on our skateboards, and today we're pushing through Salem, and I got a couple friends over here I wanted to show you.
But it's cool, like every day people like meet up with him to skate with him or them, and then when he was in the reservation, like there was like I said, Navajo Nation showing him love and stuff like that. So this is the latest, day 30.
Pushing across America on our skateboards. It's been 1 whole month since we've been pushing, and bro, we are almost in Colorado. We're gonna be there by tomorrow, but we got a police escort. Me and Oreo, I don't know how we got it, but we got a police escort, and right now we're pushing. We're like probably like 60 miles away from Colorado, but this is our view for today. This is amazing views.
Dude,
it's pretty
that's
cool.
just so freaking cool. Like there was another video where they got like pulled over a couple days ago or something, or like people were coming to meet him to like escort him basically, like so he didn't get hit by cars and stuff like that, or following him on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. And like one of the videos that he posted, the police pulled over the vehicle that was like driving behind them to like make sure they didn't get hit because they were driving too slow or whatever. But apparently it worked out because now, like in that last one, he had a police escort, and they're already all the way to Colorado. So 30 days in, it's a pretty cool thing. And I found this week, and I thought like this is something cool on the internet I found, so we should take a look at it. But one last thing for this episode is our own little corner of the internet. So let's take a look at our forum post from this past week.
All right. Let's dive into Midwest Coast this week.
Yeah.
You shared some really cool forum posts, it looks like, from the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to unpack the coolest bits.
Okay.
From, movie reviews,
right,
music critiques, even some interesting local news.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to see what this online community is doing, engaging with art and culture.
Yeah, and it's so diverse.
Really is.
Okay, let's start with Chad.
All right.
He's been on a serious movie marathon the last few days.
Oh, wow.
Hopping between streaming platforms and even hitting the theater.
Nice.
We got his takes on 5 films.
Okay.
Obsession, Woman of the Hour, The Prowler, Venom, The Last Dance, and Conclave.
Whoa, that's quite a range.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think what we're seeing here with Chad's viewing habits is really a reflection of a broader trend.
Okay.
People just aren't limiting themselves to one genre or platform anymore.
Yeah.
They're curating these really unique personal watch lists.
Yeah, it's like the golden age of choose your own adventure, but for movies.
Exactly.
Speaking of adventures,
yeah,
Chad dove headfirst into some classic De Palma.
Oh, nice.
With Obsession, calling it a top 6 De Palma.
Oh,
I love that. It makes me want to revisit some of those stylish thrillers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then you see him going to more contemporary releases, too. Like
right.
Woman of the Hour on Netflix.
Yeah.
It just shows how diverse his taste really is.
It does.
But then this is where it gets really interesting. He shows this real enthusiasm for 80s slashers with The Prowler.
Oh, he went full-on slasher fanboy for that one.
It's great.
It's like a little window into a very specific niche within Midwest Coast.
For sure.
Folks who really appreciate those classic horror tropes.
Right, exactly. And it's not even just about nostalgia.
Right.
There's this whole subculture that keeps those genres alive and thriving.
Yeah, now pair that with his enjoyment of the Venom sequel, which he described as absurdly dumb and fun.
Okay.
And you start to see this fascinating pattern.
I see it.
He appreciates both the artistry of De Palma,
right,
but then also that pure escapism of a popcorn flick.
Totally.
It's a great reminder that there's room for all kinds of cinematic experiences.
Absolutely.
Now, we have this intriguing outlier, Conclave, which he called a Vatican thriller.
Interesting.
Apparently, there's a whole subgenre dedicated to,
wow,
the inner workings of the Vatican.
Okay.
All the drama surrounding papal elections.
Who knew?
I know, right?
That's so cool.
Makes you wonder what other hidden cinematic gems are out there.
Right.
Just waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. It's a great example of how audience preferences can be so specific and surprising. Just like there's a community for, 80 slashers.
Right.
There's a whole group out there who find these, intricate Vatican dramas totally gripping.
So we've got Chad, our eclectic cinephile, giving us this glimpse into his world of movies.
Right.
But Midwest Coast isn't just about individual posts.
Right.
They also share some local news.
Okay.
And this week, it started on a somber note.
Oh.
They announced the passing of Jim Donovan, the voice of the Cleveland Browns for the past 25 years.
Wow. This is a loss that's going to resonate, deeply with anyone who's followed the Browns.
Yeah.
I mean, Donovan's voice wasn't just narrating the games. He was shaping, the way fans experience the team's highs and lows.
Yeah, for a quarter of a century.
Right.
It really makes you think about the impact sports announcers have on our connection to a team.
It's true.
They become part of the fabric of the fan experience.
Yeah.
It's their voices we hear during those unforgettable moments, victory or even crushing defeat.
Exactly. Their commentary adds another layer of emotion and meaning to the game. It makes you really appreciate the artistry and skill involved in sports broadcasting.
It does.
It's not just about calling the plays.
Right.
It's about capturing the spirit of the game.
Yeah.
Connecting with the audience on a deeper level.
Now, shifting gears to some good news.
Okay.
Midwest Coast also highlighted that the Cleveland Museum of Art was ranked number 7 in America.
Nice.
By the Washington Post.
Oh, wow. That's a fantastic achievement.
It is.
And a real testament to the museum's commitment to making art accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
Especially considering it's free for Cleveland residents.
I know, it's amazing.
It is.
It's a great reminder that you don't have to travel far to experience world-class art.
Right.
Sometimes the most incredible treasures are right in your own backyard.
I love that.
Me too.
Speaking of treasures,
yeah,
let's move on to Nigel P. Snodgrass.
Okay.
Who's, become kind of known for his in-depth album reviews.
Oh, yeah. Nigel, his reviews are like deep dives within the deep dive.
I know, right?
This week, he tackled MGMT's new album, Loss of Life. And his review is just packed with vivid descriptions and musical references that really, paint a picture of the sound.
He throws out names like Oasis, Bowie,
right?
Even Jim Steinman, which, might seem like a strange mix.
It does.
At first, but when you think about it, these artists all have this grand theatrical quality to their music.
Right. And that seems to be what Nigel's picking up on with MGMT.
Yeah.
He describes their sound as retro and experimental, highlighting how they weave those influences together without sounding derivative.
Oh, right. It's fascinating. Like, they take these familiar elements, like that glam rock swagger of Bowie, the, anthemic energy of Oasis.
Yeah.
But they blend it with something entirely new.
Right.
It's like they're taking those classic sounds, filtering them through this psychedelic lens.
He uses this great phrase.
What is it?
A kaleidoscope of jaded wisdom and hallucinatory aesthetics.
Wow.
To capture the album's vibe.
I mean, how can you not be intrigued by that?
I know.
It's like he's inviting us to step into this sonic world that's both familiar and completely disorienting.
Right.
And then, you know, when you consider the themes Nigel mentions, like death, rebirth, the monotony of existence.
Yeah, heavy stuff.
You realize this album is grappling with some pretty, you know, deep things.
Which makes his overall score of 7.6 out of 10 even more interesting.
Okay.
He describes his reaction as curiously morose, yet ironically affectionate.
Huh. That seems to perfectly capture that blend
Yeah.
of darkness and playfulness that we often see in MGMT's music.
It's that tension between the serious and the whimsical
Totally.
that makes them so compelling.
Right. They're not afraid to explore these big existential questions, but they do it with a sense of irony and a wink to the audience.
You know what's funny? We started with Chad's, you know, diverse movie choices.
Right.
And now we're talking about MGMT's, you know, genre-bending music.
Yeah. I see a common thread here.
There's a common thread.
Both Chad's movie marathon and Nigel's deep dive into this album, they both speak to this, you know, broader cultural trend, this fascination with nostalgia and how it's shaping contemporary art.
It's like artists today are drawing inspiration from the past, but they're not simply recreating it.
Right.
They're reimagining it, twisting it, blending it with their own unique perspective.
To create something totally new.
Right.
Think about it. Chad's love for 80s slashers is a way of revisiting those classic horror tropes. But he's also appreciating them through, you know, the lens of his own modern sensibilities. And MGMT, taking those iconic sounds of the past, using them as building blocks for something that feels fresh and relevant today.
It's like nostalgia isn't just about looking back.
Right.
It's about using the past as a springboard for, you know, creative exploration in the present.
And that exploration is happening on Midwest Coast.
Right.
It's more than just a forum for sharing reviews.
Yeah.
It's this space where people are like connecting with each other through this shared love of art, culture, even local news.
It's like a microcosm of how we're engaging with the world.
Totally.
You know, we're curating our own experiences, blending the old with the new, and finding ways to connect with others who share our passions.
And what's so inspiring is that it's happening organically.
Yeah.
Within this online community.
It is.
People are taking the time to like write these thoughtful reviews, share their discoveries, engage in meaningful conversations.
Yeah, it really highlights the power these online communities have.
It does.
To foster creativity and connect people, you know, from all walks of life.
What's remarkable is the diversity we've seen, you know, in just this handful of forum posts. From, you know, diploma thrillers to the rock of MGMT. From the passing of a local sports legend to a world-class museum.
Right.
I mean, it's like a microcosm of culture itself.
Yeah, it really is like this constantly evolving tapestry, woven from the passions and interests of its members.
I love that.
So what stood out to you the most from all this? Was there anything that surprised you or sparked your curiosity?
You know, for me, I think it's the unexpected connections. You know, who would thought that a conversation about 80s slasher films could lead to a discussion about Vatican thrillers, or that, you know, MGMT's music could reveal this larger cultural fascination with nostalgia.
It's those surprising links that make these deep dives so rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about absorbing information.
Right.
It's about, you know, making these connections, discovering new ways of looking at the world.
Absolutely.
So if you were to contribute to the Midwest Coast Forum, what would you share? You know.
Oh, that's a good question.
Creative work, review, discussion, what would it be?
I think probably something reflecting my local community.
Okay.
Maybe a review of a like hidden gem restaurant or like a profile of a local artist who deserves more attention.
I love that.
It's all about, you know, contributing to that tapestry, adding your own unique thread.
It's like we're all curators in a way.
We are.
You know, shaping the cultural landscape by sharing these discoveries and passions with each other.
That's it.
It makes me want to explore Midwest Coast even more.
You should.
And see what other hidden gems I can uncover.
I think you'll find a lot.
This deep dive into the world of Midwest Coast has been a real treat.
It has.
We've explored movies, music, local news, even, tapped into some of those broader cultural trends.
It's been great.
It has. It's been a pleasure having you.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep creating.
And keep those deep dives going.
All right, so because it's Halloween, and next week actually is the election, and we'll be going live on Tuesday while the election's going on. Those two things, if you combine them as a good transition for next week, I have this photo to show you, which is JD Vance dressed as a woman, and then also this one, where he's really feeling himself in that costume. So good for him, and best of luck next week. I stuttered. I'm gonna use a voice changer for this, so I gotta make sure I say this
real nice, real good. Don't forget to vote next week. And if you're tired of watching the election coverage, please come on over to Twitch and watch us make next week's episode. You can also be featured by posting to our forum at nwcoast.com. Check that out. And again, what did you all think of this episode? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions about artists that Nigel should review or topics we should cover, please do like and please do subscribe. And yeah, I think since this is the Halloween special, the one last thing that we can do is go out with a music video from Midwest Coast Records artist Gingermon. This song is stuck in my head every single Halloween, and it's called Carve Pumpkins.
One of us smile, next one a short it. Anything that you want, trick or treat. But them can't hear with this Halloween. This love and them can't interview. Follow we got two pumpkins, one a king, one a queen.
Do you wanna cut pumpkins? Have a happy little Halloween. Do you wanna cut pumpkins with me? I wanna know now.